Oscar Onley, you did very well yesterday in the Queen stage of the Tour of Guangxi. How do you look back on it now?
Yeah, I'm quite happy. We came into this race with Max for the GC, and I was kind of a backup and just kind of help where I could. But yeah, he didn't feel so good yesterday. It's not a climb that suited him really well, so I got the opportunity, and I knew the climb from last year, so I think that helps knowing the final. And yeah, just kind of I went where I wanted to go, and yeah, I know how strong Lenny is, so I was expecting him to stay with me, and yeah, he just had a little bit more to come around in the final.
And so you end the season like you began it, with a very good result in a World Tour of 1 week. Maybe also your first World Tour podium in a GC of 1 week this week.
Yeah, it's not over yet, so I can't really say it, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I've been quite consistent throughout the year. It's been a really long season. I'm definitely feeling it now, but I think most World Tour races I've gone to this year, I've been able to show myself, and I had a little bit of bad luck with some crashes and stuff, but I've been fairly consistent through the year, so I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah. How are you developing as a rider? Because the climb in Australia where you won is a short climb, here in Guangxi too. Are you more like being a puncher, or also on the longer climbs you can do something?
Yeah, I think like I showed in 𝗵𝗲 that I can also be up there on the long climbs. Obviously Yates and Almeida that day were on a different level, but I don't really know yet. Like, I would like to kind of focus on the Ardennes next year. That was kind of the plan this year, but I broke my collarbone before that. I think those kind of races can suit me, and some of these 1 week World Tour races, and maybe I keep developing and can kind of go for GC and Grand Tours as well. That's kind of what I want to be able to achieve, but I don't know how far away I am from that just now.
How important was doing the Tour de France in your development as a rider?
Yeah, it's like I learned a lot from that. It was a really good experience. It's the highest level, and it was a lot different to every other World Tour race I've done this year. And I learned a lot, and things that I can take into next year with training and race program, etc. And I feel like afterwards I really stepped up a level as well. Like, I'm feeling it now. Like, I am tired, but I've been able to put together some decent results since then, so I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah. It's also interesting to see how you develop, but also Max Poole. You seem like a great duo for the next year in dsm-firmenich.
Yeah, exactly. We're good friends, and it's really fun racing together. Obviously, he's had a pretty rough year as well. He had a long period out with a broken elbow, but he came back and he showed in Vuelta that he's really up there, and he can. I think on these longer climbs it suits him a little bit better, and I think actually in the future we can kind of play that role between both of us. So, I think it'll be quite exciting.
Yeah. Also, a significant part of your development is maybe you didn't have bad luck in the second part of the season. I think in the year before you broke like 3 times your collarbone in 8 months. How important is it to have not bad luck for a longer period?
Yeah, it's been nice to just put some races together and be able to recover properly between them and train properly, and I think that's made a big difference since kind of 𝗵𝗲 onwards. It's been good to get that kind of block in, and obviously mentally as well it's good for the head.
How do you look at next year now? You already talked about the Ardennes, but what should be the goals? What is the next step for you?
Yeah, I think try and stay consistent with these 1 week races at the World Tour level. Obviously aim for podiums in some of the bigger ones. Ardennes, whatever. I don't know what Grand Tour I'll do yet, but for sure whatever one I'm doing, then probably try and aim for a stage win there. I learned this year it's quite hard in the tour to go for the breaks. Like, everyone wants to be there, and there's only so many days that the breaks stay away. But try something similar with that again, and looking at also at the Worlds next year as well. It's going to be a hard course, and the Worlds in Zurich this year gave me quite a lot of confidence that I can be up there on a longer race, and I lacked a little bit on that last lap there, but I think with another year of training and another year of racing, that hopefully I can narrow that gap.
Okay. How do you look at this final stage in Guangxi now? You're 5 seconds back on 𝗪𝗶𝗲𝗹𝗏. Is there still something possible? There are some climbs, there are some bony seconds. How do you look at it?
Yeah, I think it will be hard for the bonus seconds. They're not that close to the start or that close to the end, so we can't really control for them. And I'm not the best sprinter either, so yeah, it's no guarantee that I would get them. But the climb is hard, like I did it last year. But there's so long to the finish afterwards on wide roads that I don't expect much to happen. I think it's probably just going to be a reduced bunch to the finish, and yeah, there'll be some strong guys there that can go for the win.
But even a second place, a first World Tour podium in a stage race, is also something good thing.
Yeah, of course. It's been my first podium at World Tour level, and yeah, like realistically, this isn't the biggest World Tour race, but it's still World Tour. There's still a lot of strong guys here, and yeah, it's just nice to finish the season this way and can take that into the off season and into training for next year.
Okay.